on my side.
So I have started the recording.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just go through the case statement once.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to read it or should I?
Oh, you want to read the text?
Yeah. So not the complete one, just the packages, and so that we know that what are we dealing on.
Uh,
So basically,
yeah,
what?
sure.
Yeah. So basically, we
Yeah.
have five options uh, around which we'll be discussing and negotiating. So the first option says, so I am representing Zincit, and as you asked, you are representing Dr. Ali Hassan, right?
Yeah, I will be Hassan.
Yeah. So we have five options that we can. I mean, we can choose either of these five options or no deal, right? That's the scenario.
Sorry, sometimes it breaks down, the audio breaks down. What did you say?
And, so for us to have a deal, we can either agree on
Mm.
of the five given packages, or there will be no deal.
Uh,
Hello, hello.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's
Nicholas,
too.
can't hear you. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
So can we uh stay with five packages?
Nicholas, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Uh, I'm not sure what I can do to improve
Yeah,
it
right now I
actually.
can hear you.
Yeah, hello, man.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. Let me try some. Hmm, wait a second. Can you still hear me, Eman?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Is it better
Yeah, it's
or same? Okay. Wait a second. Okay, Eman.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you said it's one of the five packages. Okay. One of the five packages displayed on the text.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and so it said that if it's not FDA approved,
Yeah.
you'll go with the dietary supplement
Yes.
for possible profit of 20 million. And if it is FDA approved, so you can get 120 million
Yes.
after taking into account that it costs 10 million to submit the cost.
Yes. So,
Okay.
150 million is after considering the 10 million. So, it's not included in that thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, okay, and then okay, so then the text says that um, so so of course you can't go lower than 20 million because we all know that there is another company who is bidding for 20 million too,
Yes.
Zooms. But
Yes.
it also said that if you calculate the expected profit, you can't pay more than 30 million
Yes.
based on a 10% chance of being FDA approved.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, okay, so we are not going to talk about the lawyer because we don't have a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
But
I
you
would.
still have to consider lawyer fees of 5% upfront payment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Um, okay, so I would start by saying, yeah, of course, it can't be lower than 20 million, but you calculate your expected profit on a 10% chance, but I think there is a 60% chance of being approved.
Mhm.
So I think you can expect to have higher profit.
Yeah, that's true. Only if FDA gets us the approval,
Yeah.
then we are expecting to have a higher profit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as you're saying, I'm saying that's your belief that it's a 60% chance, which is good. But as per my experience with the FDA cases, what we believe is there is only 1 in 10 chance, that is
Mm-hmm.
0.9% 9% chance that FDA does approve your drugs, and then we can go as a drug, not as a dietary supplement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think you have good reasons to go with 10%. I also think I have good reason to go with 60 because it's been published, other companies are interested, and it looks like a promising drug. So how about that we try to find a point where we could agree on what would be a good expectation for approval by the FDA?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so so I was thinking if it's if it's like 35% um, expectation of being approved by FDA, it will you will have a higher expected profit, right? Like it will be 55 million for you instead of just 30 million.
Sorry, I didn't get your point.
So because right now it said that if you think it's only 10% chance of being FDA approved,
Yeah,
your maximum expected profit is 30 million,
yeah,
right? Okay.
yes.
So, but what I'm telling you is like I think it's closer to 60%,
Mm-hmm.
but 60 might be too high for you.
Yeah,
So I was thinking maybe at 35% chance,
Okay.
it will give you a $55 million expected profit.
No, it doesn't change the value of my profit. If we go FDA approved, we'll
Mhm.
get 120 million. If we don't go FDA approved, I'll make only 30 million. And of that, I have to pay you something. So the doesn't matter if there is a 1% chance or 100% chance of FDA approved, the profit value will not change. So if it is an FD approved, we have a profit of 120 million. If it is not an FD approved, we have a profit of 30 million.
Uh, yes, but did you see how they calculate wait, how they calculate the $30 million profit?
No, it's $30 million profit is because we are going as a dietary supplement, and that is what our estimate among the life cycle of the drug. So there is no hidden strategy that if the FDA approval rate changes, the non-FDA case will have a more profit. So it doesn't change the value in that case. So if the
Uh,
drugs get approved, we
mhm.
doesn't matter the probability of drug getting FDA approved. That doesn't change the fact that once the drug will be approved by FDA, we'll be making 120 million in the complete life cycle of the drug.
Mm,
That is the
yeah,
case. Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's true that if it approved, you get 120 million. If it is not, you are most likely going to get 20 million. I completely agree. Did you see where it said that uh, your company cannot afford to pay more than its expected profit of
Yes.
30 million? Okay, yeah, and the 30 million is based on 90% chance of 20 million plus
Yes.
10% chance of 120 million.
No, no,
So
30
this,
million is based on the fact that I am right now paying 10 million in front for an FTA study, okay, and 20 million that I will make on the profit as a dietary supplement, right? Because that is what ZUMS is offering you.
no. Look. If you do 90% times 20 million plus 10% times
No, no, no.
120,
The
it gives
90%
you
chance
30
of
million.
20 million, the 90% chance of 20 million is on the fact that I'm saying there is 1 in 10. So one tenth of the so I'm saying this there is 90% chance that FDA will not approve the drug. That is 90%
Mhm.
chance of 20 million.
Yeah, so 90% of 20 million gives you
No, no, it's not 90%
eight.
of 20 million. It's 90% chance that I will get 20 million only.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how they calculate the 30 million, right? It's
Yeah.
90% of 20 million gives you 18 million plus 10% of 120 million
No,
gives you
no,
12 million.
you're getting confused. When they say 90% chance of 20 million,
Uh,
it's not we are getting 18 million. I'm saying that there is 90% chance that I will get only 20 million because FDA will not approve my drug. That is what it says. 1 in 10 chance. So when we say 1 in 10, that means 9.99. So that means 10% chance only FDA getting approving our drug. There is 9 in 10 chance that it will disapprove. That's why
yeah,
90%.
yeah. It's I understand that, but I think the way they calculate the 30 million is very clear for me how it's done, and it looks like you are not calculating the same way.
No, because the 30 million, how it calculated is 10 million I am paying, okay, for FDA study. That's
No,
my,
no, no, no.
yeah. See
It's
here.
no. Okay.
Okay, see,
Uh,
the process would likely cost 10 million, but since getting FDA approval would be a huge deal, Zincit is willing to commit that expense. So that is my 10 million cost I'm incurring, okay?
hmm.
And on top of that, if FDA disapprove it, what I will get is what the ZUMS has calculated, right? As a dietary supplement. He said
Mm,
make 20
okay.
million as a profit. See here,
Okay. Okay.
it's
Okay. So you are because you are basing on the worst case scenario, right? Like you are paying 10 million of FDA, but but then it's not approved, so you are only getting $20 million of profit.
yes. So in total, my expense would be 30 million. Like,
But the $20 million profit is not an expense.
yeah, no, no. So I can't pay you more than 30 million. If I say I'll give you 20 million completely and 10 million I'm already incurring the expense. You getting my point?
Uh, so you're saying you will pay 10 million no matter what,
Yeah, no.
and yeah, no matter what, and then you are at the worst case scenario, you are getting $20 million profit. So you are saying that you in total you are paying 30 million?
Minimum that much I will be. I can. I mean, if in worst case scenario, I can't go above that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if I go above 30 million and FDA doesn't approve your drug, I will be losing the money. So that's my bad now,
Mm. But
right?
it's okay. But it's for me, I think it has a low chance of being rejected by the FDA, right? I think it has a high chance of being approved.
True.
True? Okay. Okay. So you can't go above 30 billion. That's what you are telling me.
Yes.
But there is a good chance that you will be able to make a lot of money because it most likely going to be approved.
Okay. So in that case, what I will suggest you is we can go we can ignore the first package, which is 25 million, and no FDA approval. You won't get any money out of it. If you are so sure about your drugs
Hmm.
efficacy, then we can just ignore that and we can discuss on the rest of the packages where you'll get extra money based on the FDA approval. So we have four options where I will pay you some amount of money upfront, and once the FDA approve it, you can go ahead and get that extra amount of money. So
Yeah, so I agree that that I think should not be considered for you, but I think uh, D and E can be rejected too, because I think we can easily get the $20 million upfront. Um, I think because there is a good chance it can get approved based on the packages proposed, I think B could be a good deal.
you want B, 20 million
Um,
upfront and 15 million on the FDA approval.
yeah,
Okay. So in total, you will be making 35 million.
yeah,
Hmm. But I would suggest it would be much easier for me to say that your FDA will get approved. And in case it doesn't get approved, I will not be making any money out of this, right? Because the 20 million profit that I have give you, and in case FDA doesn't approve, I will be with nothing. So I don't make any money out of it.
uh, this is a worst case scenario.
Yeah, but if the case scenario happen, so I'm end up doing all the hard work and not making any money out of it, right?
Yeah, but you are poised to make, I think, a lot of money because it's most likely going to be approved.
So yeah, so but there is a chance where I will not make any money, and that's a big risk, right? So I would suggest
Um,
because I'm willing to pay you once the FDA gets approved in the other option. So why not consider other option? So we have option where I will pay you 12 million upfront and then later I'll pay you 20 million, which is also a good deal.
um, well, this because we can. I think we can. The thing is, we have to check. We have to look at the expected profit, right? That's what the case said. No, that's
Yeah.
what I think we should evaluate the contract.
Yeah.
We should evaluate by their expected costs,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you see the 20 million with zero risk. I can get it from the other offer, right?
Yeah. But then
So
you
I
will
think.
get the credibility. It would be a dietary supplement. And I am willing to go an extra mile for you to get the credibility on FTA. And I'm taking that risk and I'm taking that expense. So
Mm,
if we are lucky and the FTA approves us, I am willing to give you a bonus in FTA approval, right? But if it doesn't get approved, I should also be making money out of the deal, right? So in your B option, I won't be making any money out of it. So
mm,
if the FDA doesn't approve, I have already paid you 20 million upfront, and that is what I am expected to make out of this uh, drug as a dietary supplement. So at the end of the day, I won't be making any money out of it, though I have taken out all the expense and everything. Is that true?
okay, so what you're saying is if you pay 20 million upfront, you are is the only way you make money is because the FDA approved,
Yeah,
right?
only
Okay,
if
if
FDA approved.
yeah, but and if it doesn't, then you are going to lose money
I'm not
anyway.
losing money, but I didn't make any money out of it. So whatever I paid, I gave you also.
Sorry?
So I'm saying is, if FDA doesn't approve the
Hmm.
drug, uh,
Yeah.
my expected profit is 20 million, but I have given you all 20 million, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get any money, right? So I didn't do anything good with this deal. So in at this point, I don't care what happens with the deal or not. So B is
Mm.
a actually no go for me.
Yeah, but that's why I think you have to look at the expected profit you are going to make. If you look at the fact that there is a 60% chance it's going to be approved, then you are going to make like $80 million.
I'm going to make not 80 million dollar. So of the 120 hour I will make 35 I have to deduct. So it will be 85.
Yeah,
But
no, it's yeah,
that
okay.
only if FDA approves it. If FDA doesn't approve it, I end up having nothing out of this deal in the B. So I suggest you, and you are so confident on your deal, why not take D and D?
Take what?
D and E option, where I'll pay you 12 million, and because you're so confident on your deal that FDA will get approved, you'll and end up with 20 million more once the FDA approve. Nicholas?
Well, yeah. I'm thinking. Sorry. Yeah, I heard you well. I am thinking. Mm. The thing is, the way you put it, it's you are looking at the worst case scenario, okay?
Yes.
And so in this case, you are looking at if there is it's almost sure that FDA is going to reject the drug. So, and if it's the case, then it's not a good deal for me because I could go and get 20 million right away with the Zoom's offer.
Yeah,
So I
you are
don't
not
think
even
we
giving.
can.
Yeah. So my point is, you are not even with. If you go with Zooms, your drug is for sure will not get an approval, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because they are going to market as a dietary supplement.
Mm-hmm.
So I am complimenting you because you have put up so much effort and you have an emotional value along associated with this drug. So what
Yeah.
I'm doing is I'm putting an extra effort to get an FDA approval. So I'm putting my faith in you and saying
Mm.
that let's get an approval. So, but I also have I'm in a business of profit making, right? I'm also in a business to make some earning. So
Mm.
in a worst case scenario, if FDA doesn't approve, I am still going to uh, make this sell this drug as a dietary supplement. What Zums was doing in the first place, but I have to make some profit out of it because I am also doing the business, right? So I'm saying you here, if you take deal number D, you will make 32 million in total. Deal number E, 32 million in total. Okay, 70 million upfront, 15 million later, 12 million upfront, and 20 million later. Total is 32,
Yeah, but you
right?
see, yeah, the thing is, I will take the risk of getting less than 20 million just because it's going to be a drug instead of dietary. Yeah, because it's not a drug, but it's going to be a dietary supplement.
Yeah,
Uh,
this comes at
but
cost.
but
Yeah,
that's very. This is just an emotional reason, right? At the end of the day, it's the money which is it's the expected profit which I can we can look into.
that's true. But if that is the case, you won't have be willing to come to me for an FDA approval, right? You don't want to just to make money out of it. You want your medicine to have authenticity with it, right?
Hmm.
So that this cost to get that authenticity is that I'm willing to give you an offer after the authenticity come to your drug. Zums is not giving you. Zums is telling you that they are going to sell this drug as a dietary supplement. It's a dietary
Mm.
supplement like any vitamins or otherwise. They're not going to put any authenticity like these drugs can heal acid reflux,
Mm.
but I'm
Okay.
putting that effort and getting that thing
Hmm.
done. At the end of the day, I have a, as per my research and all, I have a only 10% chance of getting an approval. Even if I consider your chances, which is 60%, I still have a 40% chance of getting this drug disapproved by FDA and end up paying making only 20 million. So if I pay you 20 million, I won't get any money out of it. So, of 4 in 10 cases, I will not make any money out of it. Only in 6 cases, I will make some money.
But
So, I'm
six
saying,
is better than four.
yeah, but in those 4 cases, I don't make any money, right? What will I do? Let's say if those 4 cases happen.
But in the six cases, you're going to make a huge profit.
Yes,
That's
true. True.
that's how
That's why I'm
you should
giving you a
calculate it.
package where I'm willing to pay you more money
Hmm.
once the package get approved.
Okay, so are you? Are
So
you
I suggest
suggesting
you
that the best
let
offer will be D?
so the
Because
yeah
because at D, at least you don't fully commit the 20 million upfront,
yeah
but at least I can get up to 32 million if it's approved.
yes
And if it's not, then you have at least 3 million, right?
yes at least 3 million I will make. So I'm still ending up paying you almost close to what's your actual scenario with Zooms was paying you 20 million. I'm taking a risk, so I'm saying you if I give you all 20 million offer, and every doesn't approve, I will not end up making any money. So I'm saying you'll take 70 million. In worst case scenario, if I don't make any, if every doesn't approve, I'll make at least 3 million of it. In the best case
Mhm.
scenario, I'll still paying you 15 million more, which is greater than 20 million, which Zooms is paying, and you'll
Yeah,
end up with 32 million in total.
yeah, and then you end up with 120,
So
right?
yeah,
Yeah, and I think it makes sense uh, because of because the case says like it says that I am supposed to look for the credibility of medicine,
yeah, and
right?
because you have to pay your lawyer
Yeah.
5% of 17 million,
Mm.
which is will come from 17 million, but not from 15 million. So I would suggest you go for E and end up paying less money to him, and then you can have a 20 million because you still make 32 million in total
Yeah.
if the FD approve, and that's what your right instinct is that 60% you will get it. So I'd say you go 20 million. See, in total, you are still making 32 million. But the actual amount that you will have with that option D will be less than option E because you have to pay 5% of 17 million in the D scenario and 5% of 12 million in the E scenario. So you'll end up paying with less money if you take E because 20 out of the 20 million, your lawyer will not get any fees.
Yeah. I understand. You think that by paying less upfront, then the lawyer fees will be lower.
Yeah.
So and then, but this is true if the FDA reject the approval, right?
Uh, no, then you will end up with only 12 million. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that you are so confident that your drug will get
Mhm.
approved.
No,
So,
but I don't think we can go lower than the 20 million offered by Zooms. Even though you said like yeah, it's not medicine, but it's going to be dietary. But at the end of the day, it's the money, right? So it has to be at least 20 million. So I think you can't we cannot go for E, that's for sure. Uh, we should not go for D either because of the 20 million, but I understand why you can't you would have a hard time to accept this because you wouldn't make any money if we go with C and
or
and then
B.
the FDA and yeah, because and if the FDA reject, then you make zero money,
Yes,
right?
and A option I
So
will end up with paying you 5 million extra from my pocket.
yeah. So okay, let's wait. How long it's been, Herman?
It's almost 35 minutes. So we have 10 more
30,
minutes.
30 months. Okay. Um, okay. So in my mind, it's for sure it's not going to be E, and I can
Okay.
understand why it's not A. Then to be honest, even though yes, it would be nice if it's if I have the credibility of medicine. I still have the option of going with Zooms and be sure to get the 20 million upfront. So now it's up to you if you're willing to take the risk to go with to pay for the FDA approval, go through it. But if you take the risk, then you have a big reward.
That's what I'm saying you. I will have a big reward, and for that reward, I'm willing to pay you a bigger money in the option D.
Well, I think the way I see it is, look, I can go to 20 million with Zooms,
And
okay,
it will never
but
make as a FDA approved drug. And I'm willing that I'm putting my money on the line for you to get that
yeah,
FDA approval. And Zooms is
yeah,
not. So you will end up making money only 20 million on that, and you will not have the authenticity. To
yeah.
have that authenticity, I'm saying that you give me some chance to make money out of it, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Because I'm
but
incurring in a 10 million extra cost on top of it, which Zooms is
yeah,
not.
yeah, it's true, and that's why if you take the risk of getting it FDA approved, and you get and it is approved, so you get a bigger reward. So I think because you are taking the risk, and you add the credibility of medicine, I think, uh, but you still need to match the $20 million upfront. I think we can go for a lower bonus. So I think option C would be a good balance between me going to Zooms and being and making sure that I get the 20 million, or going with you and you take some risk, yes, but and then I get the medical credibility, but you have the chance of making a lot of money. So I think C with the 20 million, which would be okay for me, but the lowest bonus, so you can have a maximum profit, would be a good option for you.
So my point is, with C, you end up with 30 million only, right?
Mm-hmm.
20 plus 10. With D option, you will end up with 32 million. Why not go with D? I'm almost paying you close to 20 million, and on top of that, 5% of 20 million is like you have to pay point 500K to you have to pay 5 million to your not 5 million, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, not 5 million.
not 500.
Uh,
Yeah,
it 1 million if it's 20
yeah.
upfront, or 850,000. Yeah, if it's
So wait, so 1 million you're paying to your lawyer, okay?
mhm.
So you will get 19 plus 10 million, which is 29 millions,
Yeah, but then you said that there is a
right?
risk. If you say there is a risk of not getting approved, then I
So
would
I'm saying that
rather.
I'm almost willing to pay you 20 million, almost. It's
Mhm.
17 million, right? It's a very good deal. And you, at the end of the day, if FD approve, you'll end up getting more money out of it. So in total, it is 35 million. And in this option C, you are end up getting only 30 million, right?
Yeah, but I would make sure I have at least a 20 million upfront,
Okay.
which is like I would easily get with Zooms. So that's why I think, because you are a big company, you can take the risk of maybe not making money on this, but you are also very likely to make a lot of money, and
As per
also
your argument, I'm a big company and I have experience in the dealing. And I'm telling
Mhm.
you, there is only 1 in 10 chance. That is only 10% chance that I'll get the FDA approval. 90% of the chance that your drug will not get an FDA approval. So I will end up with making no money out of it.
Mm.
As per you, as you just told me that I am a big company and I have the experience, right? So I'm telling you from my experience that there is very less probability that your drug will be approved by FDA. And if I pay you 20 million, I have put up all my effort and still not made any money out of it, right? So I'm saying you
Mm.
that I'm taking the risk and I'm making all the effort in that. And that's why I'm saying that in case if your drugs get approved, I'm paying to
Mhm.
pay you extra 15 million, which will actually increase your total cost, which Zooms will only pay you for 20 million. I'm paying you an extra 12 million on top of it. But all I'm willing to do is to give me a uh, window to make some money out of it if FDA doesn't approve.
Okay, let me tell you how I calculate it because it's all based on the expected profit, the way we calculate it. And if I take the option D, okay,
Hmm.
with the 10% chance of approval, okay, I make 17 million upfront,
Yes,
okay, plus 10% chance of getting the bonus, which is 15 million. So
yes,
it gives me a total of 18.5 million of
yes,
expected profit,
yes,
which is before the lawyer fees, which is lower than the 20 million if I go with Zooms. If we go with C, I get 20 million upfront plus the 10% bonus, which is 1 million. So I get 21 million expected profit. So I
yes.
think C is fair for me. The other one, I actually lose money if I take the D option. So that's
See,
why I cannot go with D
okay,
based
we
on the
have
expected
four
profit.
four more minutes left. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm just telling
Mhm.
you. So we have to wrap up the negotiation.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. Okay, so if we have a no deal, let's say we don't have a deal, you go with Zooms and you still end up making 20 million only. But you
Mm.
didn't give even your drug a chance to get an FDA approval with Zooms, right? You're not putting that money. So if that would be the case, we won't be having this discussion, right? So in this scenario, money is not the only thing, right? You have a emotional attachment with
20 money is the most important thing right now.
no, but this drug also has a emotional attachment, right? You designed this drug for your father, so you want
Hmm.
authenticity. It is just not money for you, and
Yeah.
I'm willing to put that effort to have you get that FDA approval. Which Zooms is
Mm.
not. For Zooms, it's only money. So I'm saying is how you are getting into a business. You also have to look into that, right?
Mm. Uh, yes,
Yes, it's not
I
your
understand I understand the emotional attachment, but I've like you said at the end, it's a business, so I'm really looking at the numbers, like what's the expected profit I can make on this, and the D option doesn't make sense besides the emotional part. So
but you'll
that's
end up
why.
with more money with the option if your drugs get approved.
Well, that's based on the expected profit. You said there's a chance of 10% chance
But
of
you
getting
want
approved,
to make
right?
it 60% chance that your drug will get approved, right? Because that is
Hmm.
how you are saying that. Otherwise, I would just because your whole argument is dependent that I will make lot of money if the FDA get approved.
Well, actually it's based on the percentage of the chance of the drug being approved.
Yeah, and I'm saying that it's a very less percentage of chance, and that's why I'm asking you that I will end up with no money if I go with C.
If you
Because
go with,
whatever the profit I will make out of it, and I'm paying you the same amount of money, right?
hmm,
So I will end up with no money. So I think we should take a mediator approach and let me make also profit. And on because of that, if I'm making some profit in worst case scenario, I'm willing to pay you more money if the FT approve.
okay, so you should be able to increase the bonus.
So that's why I'm saying I have increased the bonus from 10 to 15. I'm paying you extra 5 million, but in total I'm paying you extra 2 million, whatever you're making in the option C. And I'm taking that risk. So I'm saying you let me make some money in case if we don't get an FD approval, if you get an FD approval, which you say there's a 60% chance,
Hmm.
you'll end up with 2 million more with the option C. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So,
so
okay,
option D.
we close at 45-minute timeline. So we have now 30 seconds,
Mm,
and we will finish the deal, right?
mm, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Uh, okay. So the option D, what you said is okay. If it's hmm,
So let me calculate through your scenario, right? 17 plus 16% of 15, right? That is 9 million.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, 20 plus 6% of 10, it is 26. So 17 plus 9 is 26. 20 plus 6 is 26. So with your calculation, it comes to the same value,
If it's a 60%, yeah,
right?
it's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was just looking at right now. So it's true. Um,
So we have to take a decision now. We are already crossed that limit.
okay, yeah. Well, let's say we just started a little later.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, if we go with if I go with my expected approval,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the expected profit is 26 million, right?
Yeah.
So we could go with option D.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it.
So option D.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. We have a deal then. Nice. Cool.
um,
So I'll do one thing.
mhm.
I'll get this recording and send it to you. And also because we have to, I can't highlight video with